Welcome to the Hilton Head Living Podcast. I'm your host, O.T. Gibbons. Our mission with all of our content is to make sure you have the best time in Hilton Head. All the best places to go, all the biggest events going on, and everything you need to know to get the most out of your time on the island. I am joined as always by the star of our content, my beautiful wife and co-host, Jessica Gibbons. How you doing, Jess?
Hi.
All right, on this week's episode of the podcast, we're going to be talking about the big fall events that you should be looking forward to on Hilton Head Island. We're going to be talking about our favorite new thing that we tried last week. And as always, we're going to answer the people. But before we get into all that, if you could please rate and like this podcast wherever you are listening or watching, it would really help us out. Okay, if you are going to be heading to Hilton Head this fall and you're looking for some fun plans, here's a quick rundown of all of the events and local happenings that you need to be aware of and should definitely check out.
So fall is my favorite time on the island. The weather is a little bit cooler, but it's still warm. You could still go to the beach and stuff. It's can still be hot during the day, but then it gets a little bit cooler at night. And there is so much to do. There are so many events and festivals, and there's too many to name them all right now. So I'm just going to name the big ones, and we will cover them all as it gets closer to the date. And you can always sign up for the newsletter, the monthly newsletter, because that has everything in them. It will take you to their website too, and you can sign up for that on hiltonheadliving.com, or it's in our bios on social media. So starting with September, which my birthday, biggest event ever. There is the Island Jam Songwriter Festival from the 18th to the 21st. And it's multiple days of singer-songwriters. There are usually a lot of from Nashville come down and do basically like little mini concerts. And it's a bunch of different venues all over the island. And it's really neat because they give you the background scoop of how a popular song came about. Our favorite part is that Low Cash usually does a free concert at Low Country Celebration Park. And it's a concert, like it's so much fun. And there's also Golf Bash on the 18th. And then that same weekend is the Shrimp Fest on September 20th, which last year, since it did coincide with the Songwriter Festival, they had a little concert going on. So it was like a 2-for-1 kind of deal when you got tickets to that. So I'd assume that they're going to still do that this year too. You get to try so much good shrimp dishes that they don't normally have at their restaurants either. So a bunch of the local chefs compete. So there's the judges get to pick their favorite, and then there's also a fan favorite.
So remember that they also do run out of shrimp. So last year we went toward the back half of the event, and each restaurant that's there or each cook that's there is given a certain amount of shrimp. And at some point they do end up running out, especially the really popular ones. So don't go too late, because last year we did get there and there were certain spots that didn't have any more. So that's the best tip we can give you on that event for sure.
And lastly, in September is Rhythm and Brews on the 27th at the Shelter Cove Community Park. We went last year for the first time. It was a lot of fun. And this year, Kaylee Rose is going to be performing. We saw her earlier this year. She's awesome, has a great voice, great energy, so much fun. And it's a beautiful view. You get a gorgeous view of Broad Creek and lots of tastings.
She's an amazingly creative songwriter. Like, she's got a couple songs out there that are things that you just wouldn't hear anywhere else on the radio. It's really unique stuff. And she has a dog song that Jessica obviously, well, I love too. But she's got another new song about like a boyfriend that's really creative. Like, she's very creative, got a great voice and a great performer as well.
And moving into October is the annual Chili Cook-Off in Jeep Island on October 11th. And that's kind of like the Shrimp Festival, where chefs compete to win the fan favorite and judges' favorite for the best chili. Once it's starting to get a little bit cooler, so that's perfect time for that. And then there is an expose of different types of Jeeps And they raffle off a Jeep too. So pretty awesome. That would be a great raffle prize to win.
As Jeep owners, we
Yep.
do love a good Jeep.
And then a random thing about Jeeps, which I didn't know about until we moved down here, is the little ducks in the window. It's more of the Wranglers, but I had no clue. So people like duck your car, the little rubber duckies. You've seen them in the front window of them. So
Yeah, and that and the Wrangler Wave. That's the other one.
yeah. Moving on to November, there is the Oyster Fest on November 8th, which again, last year we went for the first time. I tried my first oyster. So where you shuck them yourself, they just have tables out with the shucking knives, and you just get, it's all you can eat oysters. They just give you a big bucket of them, and you just have at it. And there's also shrimp too, just peel and eat shrimp.
There was all kinds of food there.
Yeah, they usually have like food trucks and stuff too, but the main thing to eat is oysters and shrimp. And they have live music, lots of people there. It was a lot of fun. And that is at Low Country Celebration Park. Lastly, again, one of our favorites is the Lantern Parade on November 22nd. And it's these super intricate lanterns of usually sea creatures. There's these huge cranes where people have it on their feet, and then almost like puppets. It's crazy. There's a marching band, and it goes from Aldor Beach. It starts there, goes down to Coligny Beach. Last year, then went around Coligny Plaza and up and ended at Low Country Celebration Park, where there was a whole another party afterwards. So it's so neat. And actually, anybody can participate too. Near the back, there's tons of people with little lanterns. So anybody can participate. There's tons of people just sitting on the beach watching, and that's spectacular. My mom came down for that last year, and she loved it.
It's got a very Mardi Gras
Yes.
vibe, is like the vibe. They've got marching bands, they've got like military marching bands, and they've got little kid marching bands, and they're all really, and they stop periodically along the beach and they do these little performances, and it's like a moving little Mardi Gras parade. Yeah, it's really cool. Very, very fun.
Like I said, those are just the major ones that we really enjoy too. And again, we'll circle back with much more. There's like 20 more events going on in the fall, just the fall. There's so much going on. I'm so excited.
Highly recommend going to HiltonHeadLiving.com, signing up for the newsletter. We will have all of the events and all of the minor details with every event. So go sign up for the newsletter. So that's all of the major events happening this fall on Hilton Head Island that you need to be aware of. So let's go back to last week and talk about our favorite new thing that we tried last week. So Jess, what did you do last week?
I tried. There's a new pizza truck on Hilton Head. It's called Firemost Pizza, and they are located at the Broad Creek Marina. You can go on their Instagram page, and they post the days and the times that they're there. They're usually there like 3 or 4 days a week, and they might be at another location too, but it seems like they're around a pretty good amount. It is thin crust pizza, which I wasn't aware of, but it was still pretty good. It was crispy, and I hadn't had thin crust pizza in a long time, so I actually enjoyed it. We just got the pepperoni and cheese. We're pretty plain.
You're making it seem like thin crust is bad. I like thin crust pizza. Jess, she should clarify that she doesn't actually typically like thin crust pizza. That's where this is coming from. And I do like it. I've always liked it. I would even go back to like Domino's thin crust pizza. I like it. But this had a lot of flavor. This was very tasty. It was really good. Reheated the next day because we had some leftovers. And they cook it fresh right there in front of you. Like they've got the pizza ovens like right there. And they cook it to order. It's not like sitting out. It was delicious. It was very, very good.
And didn't take that long, but you also have a gorgeous view of Broad Creek while you're waiting. I walked down the dock to the boats, looked around, and there's like a little playground area too there so the kids can play. There's like cornhole that they can do too.
And as far as getting there, it's as if you're going to, what's that restaurant down at the end that we went to?
Fish Camp.
Yeah, so you don't go all the way to Fish Camp. It's actually the right before the boat dock, basically.
It's where parking for the marina, the Broad Creek Marina is. There's a big sign that we just went past.
Yeah, just don't go to the restaurant. You're going to turn at the first right before the restaurant.
And what about you? What was your new thing?
My new thing was that I went to the Sea Pines Forest Preserve, which Jess has been to a bunch of times, but we finally had a break in the heat. It wasn't bad at all yesterday. It was like in the 80s. So we went to check out the Sea Pines Forest Preserve to try to find the vanishing swamp, which we still can't figure out what vanishing swamp, whether it means it's vanishing under the water or it vanishes when the water goes down. We can't quite figure that part out. Someone explained it to us. But yeah, so we walked through. It was a gorgeous day, super, super cool to go walk through. And then there was this little island, which was the island called?
It's called Fish Island. It's not really an island, but
I don't know. It was like surrounded by water. It was pretty cool. I was having a good time until Jess told me that that's where the alligator tour starts, and I immediately got freaked out and wanted to get off that island. And then you could see this giant alligator swim down the middle, but there were people having picnics, people walking around, and then we saw something called the shell ring, which really cool. The little signs they have there, kind of giving the history and everything, was super cool to read. Really, really interesting stuff. So I'd highly recommend the Sea Pines Forest Preserve.
I love it. Like you said, I've been there tons of times. There's so many trails. I forget exactly how many acres it is. It's like 16 acres or something. And it kind of looks like you're walking through. At one point, it's very foresty. You're on a boardwalk, and then it opens up, and you have the beautiful oak trees and a dirt path or something. And then you get to the Fish Island. There's the wildflowers. You could be there for a while too.
I can't get over how well kept it is also. Like all of the little walkways and boardwalks and ramps and everything are really like sturdy, and they're really like clean, and all the brush is really cleared out. Like it's a really nice walk. It's not, I can't imagine what they must spend to keep that, because it's huge.
Yep.
So it's really, really nice in there. All right, and as always, we're going to answer the people. And the question we've been getting most often lately is about the ideal golf trip to Hilton Head Island.
So if you're planning on coming to Hilton Head for golf, do not just pick out any random course on Google, because we have planned the ideal itinerary for you.
So we're going to plan this trip as if you come in on a Friday and you're leaving on a Sunday. I realize some people may do it differently. They might come in on Thursday, but we're going to do it as if you come in on Friday, leaving on Sunday. I think the first thing we should talk about is where to stay. I would stay on the south end of the island. I would stay in Sea Pines. I would stay in Coligny Plaza. I would stay in Palmetto Dunes. That's where I would start. Then as you're traveling in, what we would always do on a golf trip is, whether you're flying in, whether you're flying to Hilton Head Airport or you're flying to Savannah or you're driving down, you know, you're getting here middle of the afternoon and you want to get a round in. You don't want it to be the best round of your trip. You want it to be an affordable round. I think the clear choice for that is going to either Bear Creek, Oyster Reef, or Dolphin Head. One of the three courses in the Hilton Head Plantation community. For my money, they're the best deal on Hilton Head Island. They're affordable, they're in good shape, and the layouts are very fun to play. They give you a little bit of everything, and each one has its own unique features to it. I think Dolphin Head is my best deal on Hilton Head Island, without a doubt. And then for dinner, Jess, what would you do for dinner with a big group of guys? You just were out all afternoon and you want to get to your house, and you don't really want, you don't want to go out, and you just want to sit down, maybe watch a sporting event or something.
So good at-home dinner, especially for a large group, can be small too. I would suggest Loco on the go. They have Low Country boils that they bring to your house, which they bring all the ingredients in a pot that you just basically cook everything in, and you serve it, and it's delicious and it's easy. And cleanup is also easy too. You put all the little baggies back into the can and you can just throw that away.
I could cook this. So trust me, anybody could cook this, and it's so good. Okay, and then on Saturday, this is why I say stay in the south end of the island, staying at Sea Pines, staying at Coligny, or staying at Palmetto Dunes. On Saturday, I would do 36 holes. If I'm staying in Sea Pines, right now the Harbortown course is under construction, so I would do 36 holes. I would do Atlantic Dunes, and I would do Heron Point. And if I was staying in Coligny, I could do that, or I could do over in Palmetto Dunes. And if I'm staying in Palmetto Dunes, they obviously have 3 courses, so you could do 2 of those. And there's a ton of lunch options nearby that you could do for either one. So just what would you do for lunch that day?
In Sea Pines, Fraser's, that's perfect. It's right there on the golf course. There's also Lynx. It's a little more expensive. That's more of like a nice dinner place,
Mm.
but it is available. You know, if you're there, it is easy. And then for Palmetto Dunes area, I would go across the street to Shelter Cove Marina. I like Scott's Fish Market is pretty laid back, quick, and easy.
And then what would you do for dinner? 36 holes, group of guys. You want to maybe go somewhere where, again, they've got a lot of TVs. You can all kind of gather around. What would be a good spot for that?
I think a local Legends brewery would be a lot of fun. They have tons of TVs, tons of games. There's old arcade games, there's pool, there's little basketball hoops. They have outdoor games. They usually have live music. They have great food. So that's just a fun place to just go and chill, but there's still stuff to do. And then if you want to continue and have a little bit of a later night, you can go over to like Riley's or start with dinner at Riley's too and just stay in that area, the Bermuda Triangle area. There's Brother Shuckers, there's now Poppy Tequila's does after hours kind of thing too.
And then on Sunday, we were always looking to kind of get the car packed at least and kind of get on the road on our way, but we still wanted to play a golf course. And this is where I would hit up Old South or Hilton Head National. They are actually off the island, but they are very literally like just off the island. It's like the first thing you get to if you get off the island. And both courses are really, really fun. Old South has more of the views that you would be looking for from a Hilton Head Island type golf course. It's got views of the bridge, and there's some really cool, almost like golden tee type golf holes where you hit to one patch of fairway and then another and then the green. It's really, really fun. And then there's Hilton Head National, which is a really fun layout, really fun golf course. It's got some really cool short par fours and overall just a really fun time. Both are moderately priced and really good for a group. And then you could be right on the road and on your way home.